Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. I'm going to wait for Facebook to do its job as I get myself situated here. I hope the video stream is okay. If you can hear me, if you can see me, go ahead and please share. Go ahead and please comment. Go ahead and please do all of those fabulous things that help people like me, small business owners, get the word out. I'm going to share this video while you're getting yourself situated. Again, come on in. I'm sharing great stuff. Come on in. Give me just a second while I share with my people. How are you today? Happy Friday. Just making sure everything's okay here. How are you? Happy Friday. So today I'm talking about, look, I want to get right down to the nitty-gritty of what we're talking about here. And we're starting off the new year right. My name is Theresa Campbell, B-Next Entertainment, now branded by Theresa.com, Theresa Campbell Media, okay? I am diversifying my business. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm actually going to put in my earphones just to make sure you can hear me. And anyway, I'm excited to really get back to live stream and really get back to sharing value, really getting back to talking about the lifestyle of doing what you want to do, your purpose, and showing up and really being about your business and doing it whether you're a one-person outfit or you got several people working for you. You really still should know your numbers, know your business, have a business plan, have a marketing plan, and be able to communicate that to anyone at any given time. So again, give me just a second here. All right, so now that that has been shared, thank you so much for watching. Today I'm talking about building a brand, and specifically I want to drill into personas. Again, the title of today is 3 reasons why your brand isn't selling and how to fix it. I want to start with a little bit of a definition about branding. Branding is not what you say about you. Branding is what other people say about your business and what other people say about what you're doing. And personas are not, some of the personas that I see out there are really demographic and psychographic information combined. And you may be asking yourself, what the heck is a persona, Theresa? What is that? Well, you're going to hear some people call it a buyer cohort or a buyer profile. Some people may call it a buyer avatar. That's when I refer, give me just a second. When I refer to a buyer persona, again, some people call it a buyer avatar. Some people call it a buyer cohort. Some people are calling a buyer profile. Basically, it is knowing exactly who is going to buy your product and service. You know their desires, you know their needs, you know what wakes them up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what's in their psyche. It's not so much about your product and you selling as it is about are you providing value to your buyer, value to your audience? And the only way to know that is to create an outline, basically, of who your ideal buyer is. Now, that's different from target audience. That's different from knowing your niche. Okay, you need to know those things. I'm not saying not know those things. Of course, you need to know those things. But those who are doing really well in your industry, they are spot on, laser focused on their buyer. And there are whole classes around this, right? The mindset of a buyer, consumer. You can go to any college, university, and this is a hot topic. This is the class you have to take in order to have a business degree, okay? So again, if you're coming on, like, share, comment. I'm waiting for Facebook to do its job and see if maybe it's going to send some more people my way. Okay, Theresa Campbell here, brandedbytheresa.com. And so again, today I'm talking about 3 reasons why you're not selling your products and services and how to fix that. We're going to drill into buyer personas. And yes, I have notes because I don't want to leave any of this out. It's super important for you. So you may say, I don't even have a buyer persona. I don't know what that is, or your buyer persona is super out of date. How do you fix it? So first, I want you to think about why do we create buyer personas in the first place? Again, it's not to it's not to define how to sell your product, or it's not to talk about your product, and it's more than demographics and psychographics. So it's more than my customer is 45, she's 5 years from retirement or 10 years from retirement, she loves to travel. It's more than that. And I'll get into a little bit more in detail how to fix. So today I'm giving you 3 reasons of why your product isn't selling and how to fix it. And number 1 is creating empathy. Okay, and knowing that you need to you need to be able to share the feelings of and understand the feelings of your customer. You need to document in detail their desires, their needs, their wants, their pains, and fuse your marketing with that purpose. So this allows you again to get into the mind, body, soul, and psyche of your buyer. For instance, I started out my business 8-9 years ago now as a marketing company and a publicity company. Public relations is what I want to say. And yeah, everybody and their grandma was doing that, everybody. And it's a difficult market to cut through, especially in LA. It's a very challenging market to cut through. And as I began to get customers, and as I began to really look at who was buying into my products and services, I understood that I was speaking to the wrong audience. And I understand that my buyer, my client, really enjoys international travel. They enjoy doing things a little bit different. They're outside of the box. They're maybe not doing things the way other people are doing them. They like to break the status quo. So I began to integrate that more into my marketing and my language and my business, and I was able to sell higher priced products and services and really have customers and clients that I love and enjoy. So you got to speak to, again, you got to know who your client is. Yes, you got to know who your buyer is, but you have to know what keeps them up at night. And I'll talk about ways you can do that a little bit later on. So number 2, why you're not selling your products and services and how to fix it. So number 2, you're probably out of date. If you do have a buyer persona, if it's over a year old, it's probably out of date, okay? The market is changing so rapidly. Think about it. If your systems and services are from 2 years ago, 2016, 2015, 2014, you are super out of date. Think about this. We have Alexa now that's totally changed the game. If your business isn't in video, and if your business isn't trying to get into the sound market with regards to your products and services, you're probably out of date. Video is everything today. Okay, I can take this video here and repurpose it in so many ways that traditional marketing really prohibited us, meaning traditional marketing, just writing or radio. I mean, who's really doing TV advertising nowadays? Who's really doing radio advertising nowadays? All advertising has moved to a good chunk of it. I'm not going to say all, but a great portion of our advertising has moved online: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Okay. So you have to keep up to date, which means your buyer personas have to be up to date. And the way we buy now is so different. You can purchase from your phone. Even in churches now, you can pay your tithe from your phone. I give you a code, you text to that code, and you can pay your tithe. So you've got to make sure that as consumer behavior is changing, your buyer persona is also changing, okay? So remember way back in the day, we were all on cable. Everybody had cable TV. Now you don't, you get yourself Roku and Fire Stick and you're good to go. Your brand and your business and your buyer personas need to change as rapidly, okay? So how do you do this? How do you fix it? You review your buyer personas every 3 months. So 3 to 4 times a year, you need to review and update your buyer persona. How do you do that? You gather some of your clients together, you get them in a room, you offer drinks and eats, and you ask for feedback, or you do it online. You can do Typeform, which is one of my favorite platforms to use, or Google Forms. You can use that, okay? But you really need to get feedback from your current customers. If you don't have any clients, you're like, Theresa, I'm not even there yet. I totally understand. Then you need to dig into social media. You need to dig into the clients you want to have, see the language that they're speaking, and you need to do some competitive research. That is number one key in any great business plan and any great marketing plan is competitive research, okay? So you need to dig into who they are, what they're saying, and all of those things. And then you can do this, how to fix it if you're out of date. You can review after a product launch. So say you just had an event, or you released a new jewelry line, or you released a new live event, retreat, or you released a new clothing line. Then after the sales are over, you've downloaded 30 days after, you should really assess how that launch went. And as you're doing that assessment, make sure that you're taking stock of who bought your products and services. Were you a success in the launch? Awesome. Take stock of that buyer and make a note of it. Did you not make your numbers? Maybe it was your target audience or your buyer persona. Make a note of that and make the necessary adjustments. As I go along, I'm going to give you some tools that I use to help me really drill into the marketplace and drill into where my buyer is online, okay, where my buyer is located online. So the last one, and I think this is one of the more important ones, is that if you have a buyer persona, you're probably over-engineering your persona. Okay, this is a slippery slope because you say, I need all the information, but I probably have too much information. Yes. So again, a lot of the buyer personas that I see have demographics and psychographic information mixed together, and they call that a persona, but it really doesn't speak to the value that you provide to the customer. So here is a rule of thumb. I want you to always consider if you are telling the same story over and over and over. And this will help you have a good feel as to whether or not you have an over-engineered persona. So if we're really complicated as humans, right? So we don't just say the same thing over and over. We don't drink the same cup of coffee over and over. We don't go to the same store over and over. We're complicated. We like variety. We like to do things different. When I go to Italy or I go to Rome, if I've gone to one particular street, I've gone to one particular cathedral, I may want to go around the corner and see something different and see something new. Okay, so the same thing with your buyer persona, the same thing with your story. You want to speak to each level of your buyer. As an example, say you sell makeup. And your story is that your customer likes to feel beautiful. And when they go to date night with their husband, they want to have their husband just only looking at them. Okay, that's your story. That's great. That has gotten you to this point, successful in your business, selling product. After a year, after 2 years, you want to be able to tell a new story, okay? And so maybe your new story is she's getting ready for a 30-day international travel and she wants to look like the ladies in Ronda, Spain. Something along those lines, okay? Make sure that your story is evolving with your customer. Your customer is evolving, yes? So you need to evolve with your customer as well. So consider Marriott. You can take any Fortune 500, Fortune 100 company and do this type of research and competitive review. Marriott doesn't just sell you a hotel room, okay? Anybody can do that. Motel 6 does that. Marriott and the larger, nicer hotels sell you on the scene, the urban scene where their hotels are, the music scene. They sell you on the adventures maybe that you can have in that particular city. So keep that in mind. At least come up with at least 4 different levels to your customer and 4 different ways in which you could tell your story. So you're selling makeup again. Maybe you're selling to date night. Maybe you're selling to she's getting older and she doesn't want to look old. Maybe you're getting, maybe the other story is skincare, okay? And maybe the last story is she wants to not spend a lot of money on makeup. She wants to look nice but not break the bank, okay? Just some examples of stories. All right, so I want you to also think of, again, how to fix it. 3 ways you're probably not selling your brand well and how to fix it. The last one is to don't think about your product and what you're selling. I want you to think about why your customers should care. Okay? Don't think about the what, think about the why. Don't think about the how, think about the why. So my customer likes websites. My customer likes branding. My customer likes social media. I don't sell social media. I sell visibility. I sell global exposure. Why do they want that? They want that because they love to travel. They love to meet new people from all over the world. And they love the visibility of having friends. They love the fun of having friends not only in America but also in Poland and in Italy and in Brazil and all over, okay? So my customer loves the fun of having global exposure. You need to know why your customers are interested in your products and services, okay? 3 reasons why your brand isn't selling and how to fix it. So we talked about what a brand persona is and why you need that, how to develop a brand persona. We talked about maybe that your brand persona may be over-engineered and how to fix that, okay? I want you, as a rule of thumb, to think of whether or not you're telling the same story over and over and to create different levels to your story to really dive into the mind, psyche, and soul of your buyer. And then the 3rd reason is that maybe you are over-engineering and you're not, I think I just mentioned that already. Okay, so again, keep in mind that you need to create various levels. You need to ask why, not only focus on your product or service, and be yourself, okay? Really get into who your buyer is. Speak their language. Dig into social media and go into their accounts. What other profiles are they commenting on and how do they comment? You need to be using the same language. You need to show up the same way. If your customer likes to be dressed and your customer likes a certain look, you have to look that way. If your customer is more grungy or no disrespect to any of that, but if your customer loves blue jeans and a t-shirt, show up in a blue jeans and t-shirt and speak their language. The more you do that, the more people are going to be attracted to your brand. And look, here's what I'll say. Don't let Facebook fool you, because there are a lot of people who watch my replays, a lot of people who watch the replays. And just because they're not showing up now doesn't mean they're not looking at your video. Keep that in mind. Stay the course. Don't give up. You have a message. You have a purpose for being here. Keep getting into the marketplace. Don't stop. Don't be discouraged, okay? There's a lot of noise out there. Those who break through are consistent. Be consistent and keep showing up. Your audience is there, okay? I want you to really craft really great buyer personas that speak to your audience, your client, those who are going to buy your products and services. And here's what I'll challenge you to do. Do you have a buyer persona? Update it. I'd love to read it for you, review it for you, no charge. Do you not have a buyer persona? Then create a buyer persona and send it to me. Again, I'd love to take a look at it, provide you some feedback, again, free of charge. And again, Theresa Campbell here in the private group, Committee of 1000. And I changed the group name Committee of 1000 because I believe that a small group can really make a difference. I believe that a small group can make a big, big difference. All right. So any questions, comments, please go ahead and put them down below. If you are interested in connecting with me, feel free to do so. I'm at brandedbytheresa.com and I'm your group administrator. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.